Hey everybody. So recently I came across a theory called the Polyvagal theory, and I think it has helped me understand quite a bit, or rather more about how narcissistic abuse affects people, and as well as how basically how our nervous system operates in general. But I think what really intrigued me more than anything else was the fact that this theory and how it connects to various modalities or various problems that people face, like ADHD, like depression, and enmeshment is not a big topic that a lot of people actually talk about. So I've been thinking about how it actually affects somebody who has been through an enmeshed relationship or an enmeshed environment. And the more I keep thinking about it, the more I'm starting to realize that we had to really look at it from a whole different viewpoint now, with this understanding of the polyvagal theory. Now, polyvagal theory was developed by this doctor called Dr. Stephen Porges, and he has a book on it. I think it's just called the Polyvagal Theory, if I'm not mistaken. I will leave the link in the description. But I haven't had a chance to read the entire book, but I've been watching a lot of interviews and watching a lot of podcasts, and it's been really it's been quite a bit of eye-opening. So I guess the reason I'm making this video is just to talk a little bit about how polyvagal theory can actually explain enmeshment and how it affects somebody in their adulthood. Because when you really think about it, enmeshment is really when somebody grows up with no boundaries, right? I mean, there's no boundaries, there's no space, right? There's no space, and if narcissism is involved, then things can get even more dangerous, to be honest, and more scary, because on one side, you are being you're being smothered, and there's no boundaries, there's nothing you can do to escape, that kind of feeling. But on the other side, you're bombarded with a lot of hate, a lot of narcissistic abuse. I mean, if you've been through it, you know what that's like, right? So it's like the worst combo you can literally deal with, because But yeah, so polyvagal theory actually, I think, kind of explains how it could be affecting somebody in their adulthood, and I think one of the ways that it affects somebody is by creating that same feeling of lack of space, right? Lack of boundaries, even when you're an adult. Because polyvagal theory states that your autonomous nervous system is almost like a tape recorder in a way. Like, it kind of records like the feelings and the states that you were in when you were growing up, or when you were in an abusive environment. But then when you grow up and you try to lead a normal life, you can't, because your autonomous nervous system, because it's a recorder, it's kind of replaying these clips. And so normal relationships might end up looking like abnormal, or you might act out of how your nervous system was programmed when you were going through an enmeshed relationship, when you are an adult. And that's what makes that a little difficult. But that being said, I just wanted to speak a little bit about the polyvagal theory and how we can actually make use of the understanding of the polyvagal theory as part of healing enmeshment, if that makes any sense. Well, I think that's all I just wanted to speak about in this video. I will definitely be making more videos with regards to polyvagal theory in general, because polyvagal theory I feel like I didn't really explain it that very well. Well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and explain it really quick. So polyvagal theory basically talks about three modes of your autonomic nervous system. The best case scenario is called the vagal. Let me see. I have it right on top of my computer. It's called the ventral vagal complex, or ventral vagal mode, so to speak. So that's where you're happy, you're outgoing, you're social, you're filled with creativity, you are just, everything is great, right? You just feel like that little kid that just watched a movie the first time in his life, right? Or you get that excitement about life, you just get that excitement about people, you just love people, and you're just engaged, you're social, you're loving, you're creative. That's the state of your nervous system when it's in the ventral vagal mode, so to speak. I'm just using the word mode kind of loosely. But let's say something happens to your situation, and you get a little backed up against the wall for whatever reason. What do you do, right? What do you do? You could get angry, you could have a little bit of rage, and you could start panicking. You'll have a lot of anxiety. You see where I'm going with this? And so basically you will be in that. So that's called the sympathetic nervous system, and the name is kind of tricky because sympathetic, why is it called sympathetic, right? So I don't really know exactly, but basically it's called sympathetic. That's your sympathetic nervous system acting up, and you become anxious, you become a little angry, you become a little panicky, all of that. So that's your sympathetic nervous system mode. So yeah, you are hyper aroused, right? Because you're not sure what the heck is going on, right? Because especially if you grew up in an abusive family where there was a lot of violence, there was a lot of fights going on, you're just looking around to see where is the next blow coming from, right? Because you don't know what could happen next. You could even, something bad could happen. So you don't know. So you're kind of in that vigilant mode, right? Hyper vigilant mode. And so in order for you to survive, you start acting up, you start being rageful, you start being angry. All of that is because your sympathetic nervous system is, trying to kind of help you stay alive in a way, because you're kind of being defensive, right? So that's the sympathetic nervous system mode. And the worst case scenario, this is the worst one, right? And this is called the dorsal vagal complex, or the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is when you are, how do I say this? You're almost shut down. You basically, you don't have any, I don't want to say you don't have any energy, because you do, but it's transformed into a shut down kind of an energy. It's kind of like when you're in a car and you're in park and you're revving your car, but there's nothing happening, right? Your car is not moving because it's in park, but your engine is revved up. But anyway, so that's kind of neither here or there. But basically, it's called the freeze mode. You're completely you're in full depression at that point. You're numb, you're dissociated, you're hopeless, you're trapped, and that's a difficult state to be in, to be honest. And it's the toughest part to be in because it's hopeless. It's hopeless, right? There's nothing. You feel like there's nothing you can do. I mean, you feel like anything could happen. Like the next step for you as a human being is pretty much like, somebody like, ending your life or something, whatever. So you're hopeless, you're numb, you're dissociated, and you're fully depressed. So that's a freeze mode. So if you are somebody who is in that mode, I just want you to know that, I just want you to know that you are in that mode. Like, I'm not asking you to be in any other modes right now at all. All I'm saying is that if you are in that mode, then just know that you're in that mode, right? Because now you know how you got there. That's, each individual person is, they have their own personal stories, but you can kind of map it out and see. You hear what I'm saying? You can kind of see how we got there. So just know that's where you are. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's the worst case scenario. But just know that you also have the ventral vagal system also inside you. That's also right there. And so the goal is for us to get to that point, get back to our ventral vagal mode, so to speak. So yeah, that's the goal, and I'll probably make more videos on this in the future with regards to how to go from the low state, which is the depressive, numb, dissociated state, to the best state: joy, creativity, spontaneity, loving, outgoing. All that is still there, but it could be hidden right now because you're preserving your energy. You are preserving energy because of something that could have happened, something that was too dangerous for you to even deal with. So yeah, I just want to touch a little bit on that. But if not, if you're on the sympathetic mode, which is the anxious and the rageful, so that means you're a little better than the completely depressed state. But nevertheless, you're still in that mode, right? You're still in that rageful, angry, anxious, panicky mode. And that too is not where you should be, because your natural state is the ventral vagal, the creative, the social, the engaged, the present. That's your natural mode. But for whatever reason, we end up in these other buckets where we really shouldn't be ending up in, but because of life and because of things happen, and our goal is to get back into our best mode. And so that's what I'll be making more videos on in the near future. But anyway, I just want to make a quick video on it, and I hope this has helped. I am using a different kind of mic in this video, and we'll see how it goes. And let me know if you have any thoughts, and if this is your first time watching my video, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe, hit the red bell button, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.